What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, and I am here today with our review for PValley. Down in the valley where the girls get naked. If you throwing bands, then you know she gon' shake it. 1, 2, break 'em. 3, 4, break 'em. These niggas grind hard, but these bitches grind harder. I don't know the whole thing, so I'm gonna start right there. But this is season 1, episode 7, titled Last Call for Alcohol. So you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into this episode. I'm so sad that next week is going to be the season finale. Like, y'all couldn't give us 10 episodes? Come on, stars. And then, is that next Saturday, next Sunday? Yep, that is next Sunday when Power returns with Ghost. Not reviewing it, but I will watch it to see what it's about. Well, let's go ahead and just jump into this episode review, shall we? All right, you guys. So I'm not gonna go in I'm gonna do this in segments. So let's talk about the Kyle brothers first. So we see Wayne and the other Kyle brother. I can't think of his name, and they are in Mayor Ruffin's office. They're in there with Andre and Mayor Ruffin. Now, you know, Andre. Remember in the last episode, Andre got Promised Land to okay them leasing the land. So the Kyle brothers are not happy, especially Wayne. He's not happy. So, you know, Andre tells them what the new deal is. So the new deal is that they'll get $500,000 up front, and then they'll get a monthly lease of $15,000, and they'll also get a 1% gross revenue of the casino. Now, the casino has to go through in order for them to get this gross revenue. I mean, but the Kyle brothers want their $6 million. But I mean, that's actually not a bad deal. You get $500,000 up front. You get 1% of the gross revenue. So if the casino brings in a lot of fucking money, 1% of that, I mean, that ain't bad. And then you get $15,000 a month in a lease. That $6 million, that's just one transaction. Like, I don't know how these two fools don't see how better off that is. Because, I mean, it depends, and it really does depend on how long the lease term is. But, I mean, let's just say 15,012. Like, you looking at 180,000 in a year, and then at 500,000, and then, I mean, every year you're looking at $15,000 each month. By the time, I mean, if the casino goes long term, they're idiots. No other way to put that. Like, they are idiots. So, you know, Andre presents them with the contract, tells them to sign it. Now, Wayne, however, notices that Corbin has already signed the contract. He was like, so Corbin's already signed it. And, you know, Andre's like, yeah, he signed it this morning, and I didn't even have to put a gun to him for him to sign it. So then, you know, Mayor Ruffin, he is upset with Andre because Andre has gone behind his back and did this stuff. And, you know, Andre's talking about, where's your integrity? And Mayor Ruffin was like, my integrity. Chuckalisa was, you know, the unemployment rate was terrible. They don't even graduate the black people. You know, he's talking about he had to walk 6 fucking miles to school. He drank from the other water fountain. Now, damn, I mean, the other water fountain, the color, so he means he drank from the color of the water fountain. That's fucked up. Was the water, now, I just, thinking about back in them days, I just couldn't do it. So, you know, Mayor Ruffin, just like I said, he's going off on Andre. Like, you know, your mom and daddy didn't have money to get you that Morehouse education. Your goddaddy here got it for you. So, you know, Andre's talking about, well, you know, go ahead and go to your ribbon cutting of the park. I mean, the Tydale Ruffin park. So Eloise comes in and she's like, Mayor Ruffin, that ribbon cutting, it's been postponed. He was like, is it because it's raining? She says no. And she turns on the news, and on the news, we see, you know, that bitch Patrice Woodbine and Sister Soldier, Uncle Clifford. And, you know, he tells, so Mayor Ruffins tells Eloise that to call Sheriff Bailey. So then we later see in the episode, Mayor Ruffin tells Andre, because they went, I guess, where, you know, the protest was, And I'll talk about that in a little bit. Where the protest was, that was the ribbon cutting as well. He says, you know what, after tomorrow, I'm done with you. So then we do later see Andre. So Andre goes to the bar, and at the bar, he's just drowning his sorrows. And then he gets a text from Autumn about, giving him a last dance, which we'll get into that in a little bit as well. And then we also see Andre, he went to the club to get that last dance. Like I said, we'll talk about that dance a little later. But, after he left the club, he went to his hotel where his wife was. And it might not make sense right now, but we'll definitely discuss Andre and his wife. So, she's going off on him about where he's been. And he tells her, shut the fuck up. She says, what? He said, yeah, shut the fuck up. Her name is Brittany. So, he, is pushing up on her, ready to get a nut in. So he lifts her dress up and he goes down on her for a few seconds. And then, they fuck for a few seconds. I'm like, damn, that was really a quick fuck, Andre, but okay. Let's move on. All right, guys, next let's discuss Lil Murda. So before the club, this is hours before the club is getting ready to open. So Lil Murda, he's on stage, DJ Never Scared is playing the music in the background. And it's like a run through and a rehearsal before the actual performance happens. Now Lil Murda's on stage, and terrible is the understatement for what that was that Lil Murda was doing. So then, because not Lil Murda, but DJ Never Scared said, man, that is some slaw. And, Mississippi, she went and got him, and she took him to the back. She says, I know that you're nervous. He's like, I ain't nervous. I'm like, nigga, if you ain't nervous, then you just have terrible stage presence. Because, that was horrible. So she tells him, like, you need to get over that shit, and you need to get over that shit now. So then we do see him. She has stripped him naked. And I think that was that wasn't the Paradise Room that they were in. I think that was just one of the rooms that they were in. So she told him, I guess she's trying to make him visualize himself in front of the crowd of 300 people. Because he's like 300 people. She was like, yeah, hell, it could be more than that. But once she got him into his little element, he just got into the rap, bent down. I'm like, oh, wow. I'm like, nothing dropped, so he must have a cup on. Because I was looking, I'm like, wow. Because I'm like, he's naked, but he must be having something protecting him up there. But when he got naked and he started performing, the performance got better. But I'm like, that doesn't necessarily help him because, he can't, he could. Actually, he could pull his clothes off on stage in a strip club. But I don't know how many niggas want to see that. Because that's what's in the club is niggas looking at women dancing. So I don't think no niggas want to see his dick. So then we later in the episode see that Lil Murda, he's taking Uncle Clifford, to see the stars. And Uncle Clifford was like, nigga, there ain't no stars out. Like, it's about to rain. So then, we see that, they're in the woods. And Uncle Clifford says, wait a minute. How did you get my car? How did my car get out here? Because the car has, like Christmas lights in it. He was like, I stole it. And I was like, oh, wow, he stole it. So then, we see them in the backseat. They smoking a blunt. And then, they smoking a blunt and they talking. And I noticed a Lil Murda, he slid his hands up Uncle Clifford's pants. Or did she have on a skirt? He slid, I don't know if she had on a skirt or some or pants. Or she might have had on whatever she had on. He slipped his hands up, up, whatever she was wearing. And here's the confusing part about it. Because what he was doing, you would think that, because when I was looking at it, I knew what he was doing. He was getting her off. But I was like, does she have a penis or does she have a vagina? And that's not me being, I don't hope that comes off as ignorance, but that was confusing to me. Because it looked like his fingers were still like this and not like this. His fingers didn't look like they were, it didn't look like he had a fist. It looked like he was using his fingers. Maybe she is. Maybe she has had her surgery. Because his fingers looked like he was fingering. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, to be honest with you. But I mean, that's what I was. That was the one thing that I just noticed. So I was like, maybe she's androgynous. Is that the word? I think that's the word. But whatever. So they in the back seat, and then eventually they got it on and popping in the back seat. So then Lil Murda's manager, he was at the club, and they were getting ready to go into the club. He got a phone call from an A&R that was going to come to the club to see Lil Murda. So he's off doing business dealings. And then once he gets off the phone, he notices that Lil Murda and Uncle Clifford, they're coming back from their little, their little date, their little rendezvous that they had. So then as Lil Murda's getting ready in his car, the manager comes up to him, and he's just coming at him hardcore about the situation with Uncle Clifford. He's talking about if that was him, he wouldn't do it. I'm like, damn, that is so fucking homophobic. Like, if Lil Murda has feelings for her, then why you care? I mean, I get it. He's supposed to be this hardcore rapper, but if that's what he likes, that's what he likes, and you ain't got no other choice but to accept it. And if you don't accept it, then drop him as a client and move on to somebody else. Simple as that. But let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. Now the episode opened up with Autumn. Now we saw Autumn. I don't know if this was a dream or if this was just something that actually happened, but we saw her with her curly hair, and she was dancing for Montavious. And the baby started crying, and he went and got the baby. So I'm like, and then we saw her come to herself, and she's in that empty ass apartment, and she's taking off the paper, the newspapers off the windows, and you can see the kids outside playing. Now, we also saw Uncle Clifford, and she had her Sister Soldier wig on, and she shows up to the protest where Patrice Woodbine is, and that she's organized. And Patrice was like, what the hell? And she's like, bitch, don't even try it. And basically, they talking, and Uncle Clifford, she told Miss Patrice Woodbine that once this is all over with, she gonna Mariah Carey her ass by saying, I don't know that woman. So then we do see Patrice, she's on stage, and she is preaching to the people, telling them to sign a petition. And then we later see Uncle Clifford, she went home. And I mean, that car was badass. And then I saw the spinners on the car. I'm like, damn, I have not saw spinners in a fucking long time. Like, that was a hot, like, what was it, like 04, 05, when I was in high school, and they were putting the spinners on the cars. They would put spinners on the cars, and then down here in Texas, the grills were the hot thing in Texas. Like, that was one of the hottest things here. Grills. Like, everybody in my high school had grills in their mouth. Because we would go to, you can go anywhere in Texas and get a grill. Hence the song Grills by, is that Paul Wall? Or is it Mike Jones? Because I ain't heard that song in so many years. But I know it's one about Texas natives. See, the Paul Wall, because they both had them, Paul Wall and Mike Jones. But yeah, I was just looking at the car, like, that car is badass. So once Uncle Clifford, she got home, Corbin was there, beat the fuck up. I mean, them brothers tore his ass up. I'm like, damn, did you at least get a swing in or something? Well, thank God he did, because his knuckles were bruised up. So Corbin is upset with Uncle Clifford for what she's doing with this protest, because people were never supposed to find out about this situation in the first place. And Uncle Clifford's like, well, shit, I'm just doing what I can to get my part in this. Excuse me, y'all. And then she wants her offer. And Corbin's Whiteside came out when he said, these niggers. I said, niggers. You better try to like drop that ER and add an A or a UH. Something, but the nigger, yeah, that Whiteside gotta go. But basically, Corbin is telling Uncle Clifford that, his deal has to go through. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He not worried about Uncle Clifford at this point. So Uncle Clifford's like, okay, gotcha. So don't bring your ass to the pink no more. Like, and if you need your ass beat up, pretty sure them brothers can do it because it look like they did a pretty bang up job doing it. I'm like, they sure did do a bang up job at beating the shit out of his ass. So you guys remember, I said that, Mayor Ruffin told Eloise to call the Sheriff Bailey. So Uncle Clifford, she pulls up to the club and Sheriff Bailey is there. Now, anytime she sees Sheriff Bailey, some shit with him. So she was ready to pay him, and he tells her, "Oh no, not today. You're shut down. Like you can't have titties out and be serving alcohol." I'm like, well, damn, kind of fucking club is that in the first? Well, I mean, so what would they say if it was a BYO? I mean, would they say something if it was BYOB? Because technically, if it's BYOB, I'm not serving them alcohol. They just brought it in, so you can't really say much. But I guess they could say something. But then that would actually hurt the club. Like the club will lose money when it comes to that. But Uncle Clifford, she's like, you know what? Why don't you run back over there and tell the mayor I'm not gonna be the only one sucking dick. She's like, I'm saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Spirit. I know she didn't actually say all of that, but I'm ad-libbing. And she tells you, you know what? I like to deep throat. I'm like, Uncle Clifford, bitch, you better do it. You better let that motherfucker know you ain't going down without a motherfucking fight. So as Sheriff Bailey is leaving, Autumn pulls up in her raggedy ass car, and I'm like, oh shit. Because actually when he was looking, his eyes were blurry. I'm like, you don't actually see her because he was telling Uncle Clifford that her rim spinning was making him seasick. So I'm like, maybe he's just really sick and he's nauseous and he can't see. Nope. The motherfucker pulled out that missing poster and there was Autumn. I'm like, fuck. He noticed her. So that means he gonna tell Montavious. Let's move on. All right, guys, so let's talk about our girl Mercedes. So we saw Mercedes. So Mercedes was, going to one of the telex to get, do one of the drops. And then while she's there, this ghetto girl who is behind her, I'm like, God damn. I actually do hate when people do that. That is the one thing that annoys the hell out of me. Nobody wants to hear your conversation. Like, I hate when I'm like in the grocery store or anywhere in public and you got somebody that's in front of you, or well, technically, sometimes they be in front of you. If you're in line, if there's somebody in front of you or behind you and they're having a whole loud ass conversation and it's something that I don't want to, I'm like, dude or ma'am, like nobody wants to hear your whole conversation. And just like this one, nobody wants to hear about a dude eating her out, IUD and all. I'm like, I really do hate when people do that. And it's sometimes mostly our cousins who do that. I'm just be like, oh my God. Like when I go home and go to certain places in my hometown and some people that I know, I'm like, bro, yo, everybody don't want to hear that conversation. Yeah, bitch. I would, especially in my hometown when people fight, they be all loud, yeah, bitch, I whoop that whole ass. Why do we need to hear this? But whatever. So on the news, that's when Mercedes noticed Sister Soldier and Patrice Woodbine. So, she got to go. So she's at the club, and when Uncle Clifford walks in there, she's there. And Uncle Clifford's like, Big L, what kind of fucking security are you? So then Mercedes asks her, like, why did you bail out Patrice Woodbine? And she says, well, I need to help with the promised land. Hopefully I can stop them from putting a pink on the auction, but it's too little too late for that one. So, pink is going up on the auction, so they done. This is gonna be their last night. And Uncle Clifford says, well, I need my bottom bitch. And, she was like, go ask your new bottom bitch, Patrice Woodbine. So, he says, think about it. Those girls right there, that's your family. So, Mercedes, she goes into the dressing room where all the girls are. And, she and Autumn, they exchange money. She gives Autumn her stack. I done gives her a bag, and she's like, girl, this got $10,000 extra, and she says, I don't need this. She says, don't you need your dance studio? So you might want to take it. She says, no. I said, bitch, I would have took it. Never looked a gift horse in the mouth. So then, she says, so are you really leaving? She says, yes, I am. She says, well, did you tell Uncle Clifford? She says, I doubt Uncle Clifford's going to miss me. She says, well, what about your Andre? She says, I talked to him. I told him bye. She said, you told him bye? She says, yes, he's married. Girl, what the fuck that means? She says, you ain't got no morals when it comes to that? She says, and when she was talking about there was somebody that she never got to say bye to, I was wondering if that might be her, if she's talking about her baby daddy that she never got to say goodbye to. So then, excuse me, y'all. So then we see Mississippi, she getting ready. Now, mind you, they had did a prayer before, they, broke apart to go get ready. So what they gonna do tonight is they gonna dance, but no titties can be shown. I'm just saying, like, why not just say fuck that? Why not just go, get on the radio or something like that and just say, hey, tonight is the last night at the Pike. It's BYOB. I'd rather, maybe they make more money with alcohol. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. But we see Miss Mississippi, she's getting ready, and I'm just thinking to myself, and she was going through her makeup and she didn't have enough to basically conceal these bruises that Derek's white ass has put on her. I just hope somebody shoots Derek. I hope somebody either shoots Derek, or I hope Diamond beats his ass. So yeah, she's putting on her makeup, and Maite, the girl who does the makes their clothes for them, she says, I got something for that. So then, she goes outside. Actually, she went over to where Maite was, and then Gidget, I thought I got ahead of myself, but I didn't. So Gidget, she was like, when is it gonna be enough for her to leave? And what's that girl name? Autumn. She was like, sometimes when you try to leave, that's when they try to kill you. She said, you sound like you speaking from experience. So then we see, Mississippi go outside. Diamond's outside. And, Diamond's talking to her. He's telling her about this crystal that he has that one of his men gave to him when he was in Iraq. And, he's telling her it's a healing crystal and it gives you courage. So as they were about to lock lips with each other, I'm like, oh, here go the kiss. Who comes outside but Gidget ass? She's sexually frustrated and she's pissed off because Duffy is not coming. He said that he had to do a drop somewhere else. So outside of the club, we saw Lil Murder's people. We saw Derek show his motherfucking ass up, talking about he wanted to see Keyshawn dance. Oh, you will see her dance all right with my fist in your face. And then we saw Montavious there in a whole pimp looking suit. And then behind him was Andre. So then on the inside, Gidget drunk ass is at the bar. She's getting drunk. And she, sees Derek's no good ass. And she goes off on him, telling him, like, if you put your hands on her again, she gonna come stay with me. He's like, you and your drug addict ass mama. Must don't know Miss Keyshawn. Hopefully Keyshawn gets to the point that she's just tired of Derek hitting her. I hope and pray that she does that. Like, who? Now also we see Autumn, and Autumn is giving this dude a dance, and I'm like, I hope old dude wasn't paying for that dance, because that was a terrible dance. I mean, she's just sitting there, just dancing like this, just moving like a fish out of water. I'm like, if he's paying for that dance, he is getting ripped the fuck off. But once Andre comes in, she leaves. I'm like, well, damn, if she really was getting paid for that dance, homie just really got ripped off, because, another dude coming there with some champagne glasses, and she just ups and dips out on you while she giving you a lap dance. No. I would have said, damn, woman. I would have been like, damn, nigga, she was dancing for me, and here your bitch ass come. I would have been pissed. So we see them, and they in the in the room. She give him a dance. She take her top off. I'm like, he is gonna bust a nut in his pants. The way he was looking and breathing, I'm like, he is gonna bust a whole ass nut. And then she took everything off, and she unzipped him and unbuckled. I'm like, he is gonna bust a big ass nut. And that is why he went home to his room, to his wife, because she was calling him all the while Adam was dancing. And she asked him, where was he? He says, I'm in my room. She says, well, that can't be, because I'm in your room. So where are you? What's all that noise in the background? He says, I'm at the bar. She says, oh, well, I'll come down there. He says, nope, I'll be right up. I'm like, ooh, you got blue balls, homie. Blue balls right about now. So as Andre leaves, he bumps into Montavious on the way out. Now, Mercedes, you know how she is. She walk around the club and she spots a baller, and that's that damn Montavious. So, he goes to dance with her, and she put her arms around him, and he takes her arm and puts it down. He says, I'm not here for, I'm here for one person tonight. She says, oh, because he points out Autumn. She says, oh, you want my girl Autumn? She says, Autumn, come over. So, Autumn really can't see out in the club what's really going on, because there's so many people there. So she just walked through walking through, and, she all smiles until she gets up and realizes it's Montavious. And that face just went down. And she's like, girl, go get that money. I'm like, Mercedes, you don't see the look on this girl's face? That is fear that's on her face. So, so her and Montavious go off to the Paradise Room. Meanwhile, Lil Murder's getting ready to go on stage. And, he's hyping. I thought something bad was going to really happen. I thought like a fight was going to break out. Somebody was going to get shot. I was expecting something like that to happen. So Montavious and Autumn go into the, the Paradise Room, and she's like, I shot you. He said, well, obviously not good enough. So that is where the episode ended, you guys. Oh my God, I cannot believe next Sunday is the season finale. I'm not ready. But you guys, be sure to like this video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button so you guys are aware of when I drop anything else. Share this video, and into the next one, you guys. Do me a solid favor. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated, and I will see you guys in the next one, which is going to be Real Housewives of Potomac later on tonight. Bye, guys.